Hello, good afternoon and welcome. Right, where were we? Oh yeah, my kit stash part 3. Um, so I found most of these up in the loft. Not the best place to keep kits, I know, but we do what we can. And before we get started, please like and subscribe if you can, that would be really helpful, thank you. So, first up, it's amazing what you can find in a shoebox around here. Right, what we've got here, well, a few Matchbox kits by the looks of it. We've got the Matchbox Buccaneer. See, yeah, it's a complete kit. Nice, you can see the decals of the decals in there, pretty far gone, but it's nice to have a complete kit. It's in really good condition. The box is very nice, very good condition. I don't know where I got this from. May have been eBay, although it could have been Kit Crazy in Bexley Heath, where I do find quite a lot of these vintage kits, because that's what Kit Crazy specialises in. Let's have a look at this one. This is just the box, so I mean it doesn't really count as part of the stash, but I do have a later boxing of this, A7D Corsair by Matchbox, 172 scale. But the box is so nice and in such good condition, I figured I was going to keep it. It's lovely. Much nicer than the later boxing, which doesn't have this window. And I'm almost certain I bought this from Kit Crazy in Bexley Heath, which is an EA6B Prowler. I think it's a electronic kind of countermeasures or warfare aircraft used by the US Navy. Looks like you've got three options there. Prowler, different air wings, or from different carriers. Yeah, one's from the Nimitz, one's from the Constellation, and one's from the Ranger. 1975, 77, 75. Yeah, so I mean it's a beautiful kit. It's in great condition. It's complete. I was surprised to find it really in such good condition, so I snapped it up. I mean, I'm a modeler. However, I have started collecting kits too, as you can imagine. I do find it hard to stop. And in actual fact, when I was talking to a model shop owner recently, he told me that one of his customers had 15,000 kits, which I find hard to believe, but I mean, I imagine some people's stashes are about that size, or maybe even bigger. I mean, it depends if you collect, or I mean, obviously you're not going to build that many kits in a lifetime. He's not buying them to build them. He seems to be buying them to collect them. So yeah, I mean, amazing really. 15,000 kits, where would you put them? I certainly wouldn't have space here. Right, moving swiftly on. A couple of kits that I've bought fairly recently. One is the Su-25 Frogfoot, the Soviet attack aircraft. It's quite a recent release. I think it's something like maybe 2022. It's a really nice kit. I've built Zvezda kits before. Well, one Zvezda kit before, and it was a Shilka, which is kind of an anti-aircraft tank. Can I describe it as that? It was a really nice kit, very nicely molded. The plastic was great. The instructions left a lot to be desired. They were quite vague, and particularly with the placement of some of the parts. I mean, I found that quite difficult to work out where to kind of place things on this model, which shouldn't really have been that complicated. I mean, obviously it doesn't help that the instructions are in Russian. I mean, for the most part, the instructions were very good, very good. I came a bit of a cropper with the tracks, though. I made every mistake in the book really with that kit. Snap bits off, had to use brass bar to fix one of the wheels. What else did I the tracks, yeah, I struggled with the tracks. In fact, I had to buy some aftermarket tracks. Luckily I found those by Model Caston, I think, for the Shilka, which was amazing to be able to find those. I found those in a model shop in Japan called Leonardo, I think, LG or EG. I think there are two shops called Leonardo. Both of them are very, very good. And this particular aftermarket, I think Model Caston seems to be Japanese, I'm not sure. But that did the job. I mean, obviously the tracks were kind of articulated and you put them together piece by piece, and it was a lot easier to put together than the kit parts, which I did struggle with. But yeah, it's a very nice kit. Very finely detailed, finely moulded. The plastic was really good. Very sharp moulding. Yeah, and yeah, I was really happy with it. So obviously on the back of that, I bought the SU25, which is, yeah, a good one. And I bought this one as well, the Grad, the BM21 Grad. So Russian truck mounted multiple rocket launcher. It's got, I've been in the box and I've had a look inside. It's got, I think they're sort of vinyl wheels maybe. They're not plastic wheels. I mean, lots of manufacturers seem to produce trucks with vinyl wheels, which obviously I prefer maybe plastic ones, given the choice. But they all seem to go with that. Most of them seem to go with that. So yeah, I mean this seems to be, or yeah, I've heard it's a very good kit. Quite a few YouTubers out there have built it. And spoken very highly of it. So 1/35th scale, quite a few parts, 429 parts. It's huge. So yeah, let's look at that. Yeah, all in Russian. Can't read any of that. I'm sure some of you can. Whoa. Next up, the A4 Skyhawk. I got the A4F version of this Skyhawk in 1/32nd scale by Trumpeter. I think I could maybe have got the A4E, but this seemed to be the one that had the electronics hump kind of on the back, on the kind of spine of the aircraft there. It has a hump here, so it says, yeah, the A4F with no hump and the A4F with a hump. It says it's got the A4F is a refinement of the A4E with extra avionics housed in the hump. Yeah, it seems to be that this feature was later retrofitted to A4Es. So I'm hoping this one is a kind of Vietnam era A4, the A4F. There were a few other options out there other than the Trumpeter one, namely the Hasegawa, I think, Skyhawk. But this was a kind of a more modern. I mean, that's really hard to get hold of actually. The Hasegawa A4 Skyhawk. At least I found it very difficult to find. I mean, even in Japan, it was almost impossible to find. So, yeah, I went for this from AliExpress. It wasn't cheap. I mean, none of these things on AliExpress are really that cheap, or they don't seem to be in the UK. Partly due to the postage or the shipping costs, but this should be a bit cheaper, really, shouldn't they? I mean, yeah, I don't know how they can. I'm sure it's a very good kit. Trumpeter kits, the Trumpeter kits that I've made are very good. I mean, I'm sure there are quite. Well, I'm almost certain that there are some inaccuracies in this one. Right, so where were we? Just had a knock at the door, so I had to pause filming for a minute. Yeah, okay, the Skyhawk. Yeah, I mean, I love everything about the Skyhawk. It was designed by a guy called Ed Heineman for the Douglas Aircraft Company, and it turns out that he's designed uh, quite a few of the aircraft that I really love. In fact, he designed the A-20 Havoc, the A-26 Invader, the A-1 Sky Raider, which is amazing. I love that, and the A-4 Skyhawk. Um, and apparently, let me read this out to you. It said, in response to a United States Navy call for a jet-powered attack aircraft to replace the A-1 Sky Raider, he designed the Skyhawk, basically. And it said Heinemann opted for a design that would minimize its size, weight, and complexity. And I love it for that. It's an amazing aircraft. It was very small compared to other aircraft of a similar period, particularly carrier-based aircraft, because we're talking about things like the Phantom now, which were kind of gigantic in comparison. Anyway, let's move on to the another one that Ed Heineman designed, and that's the Sky Raider. Okay, so this is a Tamiya kit, 1/48 scale. It's the A1J version. I've built the A1H version by Tamiya, which is very good. This one has got different kind of ordnance and a different loadout. Obviously, it's got camouflage. It's not a Navy aircraft. It's more of a kind of a search and kind of rescue aircraft, and took part in missions to kind of support special forces in Cambodia and in Laos, and across the fence, as it were. So yeah, it's an amazing. It was nicknamed the Spad, I think, but by the pilots themselves, but also by the people that were on the ground, hoping for support and to help them kind of break contact with the enemy. But yeah, it's I think the thing that really got me into modelling again after a break of quite a few years is I bought a Sky Raider, I think by Revell, that was a reboxing of a Matchbox kit, an old Matchbox kit, which was the A1E version, which is kind of like a two-seat version. And I mean, it's not a particularly detailed kit or complex kit. However, building it was such kind of a pleasure, even though it's pretty dated and the tooling's pretty dated, and there was lots of flash and things like that all over it. All over some of the parts, not all of the parts. Some of the smaller parts. I enjoyed it so much, and I enjoyed the kind of process of painting it and camouflaging it. I didn't do a particularly good job of it, bearing in mind it was my first kit in many years. But I really enjoyed that so much that it kind of inspired me to kind of start modelling again and in earnest, and obviously the Sky Raider. I've got a Sky Raider. I've got like the Zucchimura 1/32 scale version of the A1J, and I got that in Japan in 2023, and I got it really quite cheaply compared to the prices that you see it going for over here or on eBay. It was about 80 quid, I think, 80 odd quid, 80 odd pounds. So yeah, I mean, that was good. It's also got the weapons with it. It's kind of a limited edition, supposedly. I think they did release that without the weapons as well, but I think those kits are probably hard to find and not in production anymore anyway. Zucchimura have recently released the Korean War version of the Sky Raider, but that's an H version as well. So you can either build the Korean War version in the kind of navy blue, or you can build the A1H version of the Sky Raider in the navy colours. You know, the kind of they used in the Vietnam War. Okay, moving on. Let's move these out of the way a minute. Let's see what else we've got. I've got on this one. There's no other clues in the label on the box. Let's have a look. It says here 1/48 scale Pucara Netta. So it could be. Oh, it is. Okay. There we go. Got this from eBay, I think. Again, quite cheaply. Didn't spend a lot of money on it. It seems to be very nice. I think, let's have a look at the clear parts again. I thought there was some sort of defect in the clear parts. Or was there some scuffing? No. I mean, at a glance, the clear parts seem very good as well. I mean, I'm love to build this. I'm gonna build up my modelling, improve my modelling skills before I tackle this one, because I would like to do a really good job on it. It says, so it's 1/48 scale, 260 parts, and the decals are by Cartograph, so it looks really good. Let's have a look. So I'm obviously going to do probably this one, I suppose. But yeah, very nice. Made in China. Kinetic gold, whatever that means. So sometimes these boxes don't necessarily have the kit that is written on the box, because I can move them around depending on how much space. Excuse me. Do that. Well, it says a Gladiator, ICM Gladiator, and it is, but it is the Swedish. Let's have a look. Swedish fighter version, the J8 Gladiator. I'm probably going to try and get the Gladiator. Is it the Sea Gladiator? The one that was used in Malta. Because I'd really like to make one of those. I made one of these when I was a kid, but I made the Matchbox version, and obviously that was very basic, you know, and primitive in comparison to something like the ICM Gladiator. I don't think I might actually doing this. Not sure I have. A quick look. I'm not going to get in there easily. I'm not going to look in the box, but anyway, it shows you. So we've got, I think, yeah, Swedish. And is it Finnish as well, maybe? Or are they all Swedish? It looks like they're all Swedish. So the Swedish versions, I think, may have had a symbol that can't really be mentioned on YouTube. I'm sure you're all familiar with the symbol that I'm talking about. So I'm not sure if this illustration on the front of the box is particularly accurate. I think these crosses may have additional kind of parts added to them in the decal options. But yeah, very keen on building this one. I've got another biplane by ICM. That's for another video. That'll be the CR42, which is on display at the RAF Museum. So yeah, I'd really like to make that as well. Right, so moving swiftly on. Let's see what else we've got. Right, okay. So we've got a German 20mm Flak 38, and I bought this from eBay. so that I could do this. I bought myself a Hotch a few years ago, one of these, and I've also got a hand mag by Tamiya, and I haven't got one of these Acrylic Prots, but yeah, I was gonna try and do this. I was gonna try and mount this Flak 38 20mm kind of cannon on the back of a Hotch using some kind of plastic card and things. So yeah, it's quite expensive, I think, if I remember correctly. It wasn't for what it is. It's such a tiny thing, but I think it's out of production, so it's quite hard to find on its own. I'm sure that ICM and people like that produce them these days. What else? What else we got? Oh right, okay, right. So I've got a couple of these. Now I got these from Amazon, and yeah, the box is a bit damaged. But here we go. So it's by Bandai. It's the 1/4 scale AT-AT, Star Wars AT-AT by Bandai. I've built this, and a very, very enjoyable kit. I suppose you could call it a kit. I mean, these are really all about assembly rather than kind of like, you don't really use kind of modelling. Well, you kind of clip the parts off the sprues and clean them up and join them together, but it all clips together. You don't need any glue. So although I said I'd taken a break from modelling for many years, actually Bandai, in fact Gundam by Bandai, I've assembled, I'd call those assembly, I've assembled quite a few Gundam kind of robots, mecha robots, by Bandai, which I kind of discovered in about sort of 2003, 2004. And I've assembled maybe a handful of those over the years. And then obviously when the AT-AT was released, and a few of the other Star Wars kits, I mean, the quality of these Bandai kits are so amazing. The quality of the tooling, the quality of the moulding, you know, the plastic, the instructions, it's amazing. You know, I mean, they are very complicated things to build, particularly when you consider that all the legs and this is the same with the Gundam as well, but you know, when you consider that all the legs are articulated and you can kind of move them and pose them. And I didn't paint mine, you know, but I mean, you can paint these, obviously. It's quite small. I mean, it's not huge. The ATST is a bigger scale. It's like 1/48 scale. Well, obviously, imagine this in 1/48 scale. It'd be huge, wouldn't it? So yeah, I mean, highly recommend these. In fact, I highly recommend anything by Bandai. Their Gundam kits are amazing. I might do a video about my Gundam kits at some point. I mean, I call them kits, but yeah, they're a lot of fun to put together, and quite easy to put together. Right, I'm sure some of you can guess what this is. If it's Hornby, made in India. Ooh, there we go. So yeah, I'm not sure where I got this from. I didn't buy it when it came out originally because it was too expensive. It was over 70 quid, I think. But yeah, I wanted this because I'm hoping to build the desert version of it, which you can see here. So turn it the wrong way up. So yeah, I need to build that one there. Again, this was the Buccaneer is on display at the RF Museum in Hendon in London, on the outskirts of like North London, and there's a whole hangar full of aircraft. I think it's sponsored by the Kuwaiti government, the hangar that it's housed in. So you've got a Jaguar in there, you've got like some sort of Harrier, you've got like the Buccaneer, you've got a Tornado, you've got a Chinook, I think, is it? Maybe. Oh, Well, you've got a C-130 kind of cockpit. You've got a drone maybe, and I'm not sure what else is in there. There's a display of kind of missiles and other sort of bombs and ordnance in there, among many other things. I can't remember what the other aircraft are. But yeah. Whoa. Okay. And finally, the S3 Viking, 1/48 scale by Italeri. I notice it's got the Lockheed Martin logo on there. Associated emblems and logos and body designs of vehicles are either registered trademarks or trademarks of the Lockheed Martin Corporation in the USA. Blimey. God, that sounds very legal, doesn't it? Yeah, and they've even got the logo on the name of the above the name of the aircraft itself. So yeah, I think this is probably the only kind of game in town for the Viking in this scale. Yeah, I'd love to build this. Let's have a look. Yeah. Yep, some nice decals and decals by Cartograph. Instructions. See the parts. I haven't opened the bags yet. It's got a massive clear part in there. I don't know if you can make that out, but yeah, enormous. It looks really good. Panel lines, very good. I think Phil Flory built one of these quite recently on his channel, and he kind of super detailed it and added some aftermarket and all kinds of bits and bobs to improve it, particularly in the kind of weapons bay area, I think. So yeah, quite install that. Okay, well that's it for now. Thank you for watching, and I'll be back I guess soon in the next video. And hopefully have some more of my stash to show you. Thank you very much. Please like and subscribe if you can.